Hey everyone, this is a quick video to give you some prep for lesson 4, which is coming up this next week. So what I thought I'd do is I would go through and talk you through the actual lists. This week's lesson focuses on schwa, which is actually quite a new concept for me too, but it's the most common sound in the English language, and it's that sound that we say. And the creator of the program calls it the lazy vowel sound because it's the most common, because we're constantly making any of our vowels that sound, and it's usually in an unaccented syllable. So don't worry, I will explain all of that in the day 1 video, but I wanted to prep you with the actual words. So feel free to listen. I'm going to do list A first, and then I'll do list B. And so you can skip depending on which list that you have. So let's see. So for list A, we'll start with list A. So you've got oil. So you're going to oil. That's your dictation. Boy, you're going to do ba-oy. Oops, I need to stop for a second. This week's sounds are OI and OY. And you learn that OI is the oi that cannot be used at the end of an English word. And OY can be used at the end of an English word. So if we back up to number 1, oil, you would go oil or oil, and you'd say use the oi that you may not use at the end of an English word. So boy would be ba-oy. Use the oi that you can use at the end of an English word. 7, you're going to break into 2 syllables. So when we say 7, we say 7. It's a schwa. It's like an sound. But in order to make it clear for students how to spell that, you want to say to spell sev-en, sev-en, so that they get the idea that that's how it's spelled. So then you stretch out the first syllable sev, s-ev, and the second syllable en, e-n, so that they're clear that that is an E. And if you need to clarify, you can say that's the E. Frozen is the same way. It's using a schwa, frozen, frozen. So you say frozen. So you stretch out those sounds for the first syllable, fro, f, or o, and then zen, z, e, n. Number 5 is stick, so st, I, k. Number 6 is list, o, I, st. For our Spanish students, we should probably clarify this is the I, I, ya. Trunk, t, n, k. And clarify this is the tall one. Box is easy, box. Toy, oi, use the oi that you can use at the end of an English word. Dish, d-ish, dish. I'm going to keep going, so 2nd grade teachers, don't worry about the rest of these words. Number 11 is coin, k-oi-n. You can clarify this is the k-s. This is the oi that we may not use at the end of English words. Clover, kind of tricky. You're going to say to spell clover. So clo, k-o-o, and then ver, v-er, use the of her. Now the next 3 you're going to be like, why are those even on here? It's because they're article adjectives, the, a, and an. And they actually go over a very helpful rule of when you use a versus an. So for the, you could just have them write it, or you could say something like, say to spell v, and it's v-e. And you could talk about how it used to be that we used to say V everything. It's kind of fun. V dog, V cat. And then A, you're just going to say A. And then an is the last word, an. And they're all going to say, we know this, we know how to spell those. But you can just say, just hold on, it's okay. These are something we're going to learn about later on in the lessons later on in the week. So that is list 1. So there's several words in there that have schwas that you need to do that dictation process where we say to spell something. 2 syllables, I usually use two of my hands, but remember, you can choose whatever method is best for you. Like for frozen, if you want to say o, and then put your hand back and go z, that would work, or you could just do both hands. Going on to B, we've got basket. So I think you would stretch it out, basket. So you go ba-as. Et, and use the tall one here. Cactus, so you'd stretch it out and you'd say cactus. So us, and clarify that these 2 are both the ks. Week, eek. That's the E-A. This next one is tricky. It's appointment. So you say appointment, they say appointment, you give your sentence, and then you stretch it out into its 3 syllables. App, point, meant. Does that make sense? App, point, meant. So they can hear those 2 p's in there. Otherwise, they'll only put 1. So app, point, p, oi, nt, and then meant. Nt. 3 syllables in that word. You only have 2 hands, obviously. If you want to just do app, and then put it down, I don't know. It's up to you how you want to do that. Number 5 is wish. Pretty easy. Wish. 6 is soil. Oil. Use the oi that you cannot use at the end of an English word. Next one has a schwa, broken. So you're going to say broken, like the man's name. So you stretch out bro, ba, o, n, and use the tall one. Royal, roy, well, in the pronunciation guide, she says to use the a. So you're doing like royal. I don't know. I almost like royal, but I guess that could be an o. So let's just stick with al. So you'd go roy al, like the man's name. Roy al. 2 man's names. So roy, oi. Use the oi that you can use. O, royale. King, n. That's pretty easy. Baker, baker. So you got ba-a-k-er. Now, one thing that I have not been mentioning very much, and I don't know if you've noticed in all of the dictation, what they want you to do is to put the long line anytime the vowel says its name. So for like broken, you could put a long line over the O. And then with this one, baker, put a long line over the A. And that's just to give the students the idea that, oh yeah, that's the long sound. It's a marking. Queen, qua, e, n. Use the E-double-E. Dear, da, e, er. Use the E-A. Report, report. So you go e, p, ort. And that E, make sure they put a line over it. And then they underline their or. I know it's a lot of markings, but it gets their brain used to noticing the different combinations of phonograms. Silver is number 14, excuse me. So you go silver. So s-i-o-v-er, use the of her. And then the last one, number 15, is least. O-e-st. Use the e-a-a, and you underline that. So I hope that helps you with some of the words for this week. If you have any questions, let me know.